What's up, family? Gerald the Bossman here. You're tuned into the Bossman Show on AM 1010, AM 1430, 1055 The King. Let the King out at 105theking.com and the Bossman Show at bossmanshow.com. Hit me up on Instagram, The Bossman Show, Twitter at Bossman Show, and Facebook, Bossman Show. It's the Bossman on your radio.
Listen to the Bossman Show with your host, JR, Saturdays at 9 a.m. right here on AM 1010, The King.
What's up, good people? BetOnline is your number one source for all your betting needs. The latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use your promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, where the game starts.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
Yes, BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV, covering content and hot topics from A to Z, sports, music, society and culture, movie reviews, you name it, we have it. Check it out on bs3network.com or check us out on Roku, BS3 TV on Roku, as well as check out your favorite podcast on all podcast platforms or Spreaker.com/BS3 Network.
You are now tuned to BS3 Network.
Back on the Bossman Show, we got something new for you here. It's the Queens Basketball Coaching Show with my man, Grant Leonard, out of A-Sun, doing big things out there in Charlotte. You see his Queens gear looking nice over there. Good to see you, G. What's up, brother?
Great. Hey, day before college basketball tip-off, always a good day.
Man, what you said, G, man. I also want to tell the listeners, man, you're a good friend of mine, so I wanted to make sure I help you out, man. Use this platform to help people know about what you're growing over there at Queens and how you go from D2 to D1 now to A-Sun, competing like heck right now. I want to know about you, your story, and your team, man. That's why I want to do the show with you, man, so people know about how the cool guy who I know off there, too.
I appreciate that.
No doubt, man. Well, let me ask you, G, with your team going through scrimmages right now, before this thing kicks off tomorrow, how happy were you seeing with your guys playing against other competition, against another color, seeing what they did for you and your staff out there, man?
I mean, I honestly, if I could grade the preseason, I'd give it an A. And the two scrimmages we had, we were very successful in both. And those are secret scrimmages, in quotation marks. But the biggest thing is you're trying to find out some things about your new guys and kind of whatever tweaks you made as a team. And I was super pleased with how we competed, and more importantly, like how we implemented the new style of play, like our pace a little bit faster. And I thought I was really happy with how our guys did.
100%. And do you feel like it's really started this summer? Because I know I saw on Instagram how all the hard work you were doing, posting you all are doing. So, and also talk about that work that you really put in back in the summer and seeing it come to fruition now in the fall here. Scrimmages, there are secrets, playing well now as you prepare to go play Marshall tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, I always say, right after the season ends, you got about 6-7 months before your next game, okay? And our goal for those 6 or 7 months is to get our players better. and and the development is the biggest key. And I've seen a few guys on our team that came back, Chris Ashby and BJ McLaurin, they've taken huge jumps in their game. Caleb Matthews as well. And so those are the things that made me the most happy, is to see those guys in those 7 months put in a very precise, dedicated work, add tools to their tool belt, right? Tricks to their bag, however you want to call it. But their games have definitely evolved, and I'm really excited to see them put in the work here this season.
No doubt. And also, G, like, talk about the bodies, too. I've seen your guys work, get after in the gym and the weight room. Talk about that part of it, too, man, getting their bodies right, because they have to be very healthy to last for 5 months from now until March. So talk about that piece of it as well, seeing them, their bodies transform and get stronger and faster, as well as get more IQ and more things in their back on the court.
Yeah, I mean, that's huge. Like I always say, like the layer of muscle you add each off season when you're still developing as a college kid. So BJ McLaurin, he added 10, 15 pounds of muscle. Well, that's like an extra layer of armor to protect him. Same thing with Chris Ashby. He put on about 8, 10 pounds of muscle, but his bench press and his squats, like all his major lifts, went up like 30 to 40%. And that strength is going to do a huge deal for both those guys. It's really going to help them perform, but also stay healthy with that extra layer of protection and strength.
No doubt, man. And also with that as well, G, having the way you want to play faster, getting the guys who are not in the rotation right now, keeping them locked in, because when you play fast, you're going to have guys to play. Unfortunate stuff happens. So talk about keeping those guys who are not in the rotation right now, November the 6th, but keeping them prepared and ready to go. So, hey, be ready. I'm going to need you at some point this year.
Yeah, I mean, it's a next man up philosophy. There's going to be guys that go down, and, it could be a little knick-knack. My guy might be out a day or two, or it could be a guy you lose for the season like we did last year. So guys got to be ready to step up and perform. They got to prepare and practice. And, there's different ways and philosophies to do practice. Are you going to play your best guys on your second unit, or are you going to have a scout team? And the way Queens does it is we often play our best players against our best players, so that they continually to improve throughout the season, so they're ready when their number's called.
No doubt, because I feel like competition breeds people getting better. If you know your minutes aren't automatically penciled in, and you have to compete every day in practice, and we get into games and having your assignments on point, have get discipline with the game plan, know what you're doing, do the right things on off the court. I feel that breeds a great culture and a great environment to compete and win at a high level.
Absolutely. Competition absolutely breeds improvement and competitive environment, so that you're ready when it does get ramped up. And we're a huge believer in that. We compete every day, and we'll even compete in game day shoot around. We'll have a few live possessions where we go at each other, and our guys know what it is. You got to be ready. No
doubt, because I'll tell this, you have to do off there privately until you in on the air. Like last year, your guys competed every freaking game. I watched it myself. It kind of saw how you competed like crazy. So I feel like even last year with all the injuries you all had, being undermanned, the way your guys play to compete and play hard, it's like it was great to see, man. And I know that's what you're about. And seeing your guys attack the offseason the way they did, man, people should realize you're doing a heck of a job there. Last year, injuries and all, it won the game that your team is tapped out and quitting, which is something to be commended for, and your staff and your players.
Yeah, I mean, it's part of the culture that was built here for years. It doesn't matter what we're doing. We're going to compete. You're trying to win that next drill. And we always ask our guys, what is the most important play of the game? It's the next play. What is the most important practice of the year? It's the next practice. And what is the most important game of the year? It's the next game. And so our guys understand they're going to attack it like that every day. And it's a next play, next game, philosophy.
And G, I saw you at the ASUN tip-off up there at Clarksville, F&M Bank Arena up there, man. What about how fun it was to go up there, that new arena, have you go up there and represent Queens, and kind of get to be around your colleagues in the ASUN now as you all get ready for this new year up there, man?
Yeah, it was great. I mean, Austin P did a great job of hosting it. They got a beautiful new facility. So interesting to see how they do there with a new coach and a new staff and a few new players. They basically brought a good portion of the team from Northwestern State in the Southland Conference, and we'll see how they do in the ASUN, and really looking forward to the overall year. But it was awesome to have a few of our players there. I even brought a freshman with me because I thought he earned it. He's really worked and earned it. Bryce Cash done an unbelievable job. And so for me, it's a reward to those players for putting in the work and embodying our culture. And then the funniest part was, had a guy, during the interview asked me, hey, does AJ McKee have the green light? I started laughing. I said, I think everyone's got the green light. You play here. If you got a good shot, you take it. That's how we do it.
No doubt. That's the fun, because you know how some coaches are, man. You can't shoot the ball. That just makes you gives you that black cloud on you. Like, man, I'm open. I can't shoot the ball. So yes, having the green light is very fun, man. Everybody playing that style, man. And AJ was preseason All-A son, which I think he should be. And let's talk about him, G, and how you've seen him just improve and get better, lead his teammates, and be the ultimate guy you want to represent Queens basketball.
Man, this is his 5th year here, and he's still got another year left after this year. It's amazing how that works. But to watch his improvement over the years, last year he took a huge jump, and it was actually bigger than I expected, but he put in the work, and he put in a lot of work this year. So I expect him to take another jump. He's really worked on his body, his conditioning, improving his skills. But the biggest thing he's a really big time leader, and he leads different than last year. Kenny Dye was a lead by example guy. AJ is a very boisterous, big time vocal leader, and he holds our guys accountable every day. And I'm super happy with where he's gone. And I tell him every day, like, with that voice though, you got to stay positive. When things start going bad, which they happen in every game, it happens in a season, you can't get super negative. You got to bring those guys out positively. And I think he's done an unbelievable job trying to work on that. And I'm really happy to see what kind of year he puts out this year.
And that's something, G, that's just so important, man. Like, how you lead and how you go about leading is so important. Because I know for me, being a son of a coach, I kind of understood it from day one. But how you go from being just lead by example, guys, more using your voice, or do it by your play, or do it by how you go watch film, or how you work out. So seeing a young man develop those leadership qualities and how they mature and evolve over their time in the program, man, for me, as a media guy and played myself, it's important for me to see it. I know if you're a coach, man, it makes you happy seeing how guys develop and the leadership as well. It's something, I both know, player-led teams are the best teams.
Yeah, 100%. And we're a player-first program. So AJ has been here 5 years, and last year he was a leader, but he wasn't the leader. But everyone knows in our program, the longer you stay, the bigger a voice you get, the more ownership you have in the program. I give AJ a lot of ownership in what we do in practice, how we travel, where we eat, because AJ's been here long enough that he deserves that voice and to have his voice heard. And that's part of how we work as a program. Guys that stay here, they really earn more and more, and it's a huge part of what we do.
No doubt, and I feel like guys should really want to come play for you. I told many of the players in Atlanta to check you all out. I'm telling you what I'm doing proudly for you, brother. Guys, check out Queens. But my man doing a heck of a job there. He'll take good care of you, especially if he knows you fool with me. Don't be okay. Yes, indeed. And G, let me ask you, man. Talk about Sean and what he's brought to you as far as being more driven with data, man. Because I know in the NBA where I'm at, analytics is a big part of what we do now. Force shots, profiles, force how guys are rated defensively, offensively. So about him bringing that to you guys, well, how you applying his analytics approach to what you all do every day.
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge deal, and he was a math major, at Virginia Tech, which probably means he's way smarter than any of us.
Yes.
But the way he looks at the game is very similar to me. Like, I have a feel for it, and we're watching it, but how do the numbers back it up, and how do we improve our team by just having a small tweak here, a small tweak there that the numbers show us we need to do? And so we teach our guys daily, okay, this is what the numbers look like. And the two numbers we're really, really preaching this year with our team are points per possession and turnover rate. And, Sean does an unbelievable job of building these models and trying to get us a system that puts us in the best chance to win every game we play. And that's what it is. Now, you still got to get guys that make shots, and there's still some feel to it, but having a guy who is analytically based that understands what that means. And the NBA is way more forward with analytics than college. And I hope that college catches up with that. But I think that the really good college coaches do, because you got to build a system where offense and your defense are married together. They work together analytically. And then you got to teach your players what that looks like. And so, and players just don't know when they come in. Like in high school, they're not taught those things. They're not taught what a point per possession is, and they're not taught, hey, this is how many possessions there are in a game, and this is the goal of how many shots we're going to try and get in certain areas. And that, as they learn that, they start to understand, oh, this is why we're doing things, and their buy-in is better.
No doubt, G. And I'm sitting here with College Park Skyhawks as well. Like you said, they don't really understand analytics until you actually sit down in the room with them and break it down. Same with the big team with the Hawks, our rookies, the second-year guys. They're not understanding like defensive rating, offensive rating, shot profiles or how many we take here. It's amazing watching. Now, I've been around it for the last 8 years. Of course, I understand it, but they're seeing those rookies come in, second-year guys come in who have no clue, man. It's amazing watching their eyeballs go wide. Like, oh my God, I never understood all this. But it all makes sense when you apply the field of the game and the numbers and apply it to your schemes and actions. It does make a difference.
Yeah, and that's you can't be all numbers based. You know what I mean? You do still have to be able to put a team that functionally works together on the floor. It can't just be. It's not fantasy basketball, but there is a part of it that you can make decisions because you understand what this does for your team. And I think it's an important part of basketball. And I'm excited that we have a team and a staff that is bought into seeing where it's going to take us.
And what's cool is, G, for us, when we put synergy on and then marry it to the analytics, it's funny how we see how it didn't. Most guys buy into that. I'm going to keep it. I was almost say most guys buy into it, but what you show them is the film and the synergy versus what we say. It's fun to watch. Like you said, you've got to have some guys who can play too. Talent still is part of it as well, but it's a good addition to basketball. I think it'll be very, very much more fun. And for me, being a radio dude, having to talk about it, I can give listeners a little bit more in depth because what I know analytically on the back end.
Yeah, exactly. And, any good player, they're going to have a spirit of they want to get better, right? They want to get better on the court, but they also want to study the game better. And so all of it works together, film study, skill development, along with studying your analytics and understanding what each shot is worth. And I just think it's a really important part to have a balance of all of it. And Sean McClurg is a huge part of our staff because of it.
And G, the last one for you, man. I know you got to head to West Virginia. Huntington tomorrow to play Dan D'Antoni and those guys, a former NBA guy, Dan D'Antoni. Talk about sitting on film for Marshall and going up there and play those guys up there and see what they got to offer for you tomorrow night, man.
Hey, you talk about an analytically driven team, and Dan being a former NBA guy, like he's driven by the analytics. They don't post up. They spread the floor. They do a lot of ball screens. They try and shoot a ton of threes. Now, interesting, differently than the NBA, though, they press and they trap. So they do try and cause to get their turnovers up and get some easy baskets. But what it does do is it extends them a little bit. So can we take advantage of their pressure? That's probably going to be the telling factor in the game. And they're a really good team, and they're going to be out for blood because we upset them last year at our place. And appreciate that they came to Queens to open up our Division I, history. So now we got to go there and probably play a pissed off Marshall team. And Coach D'Antoni does an unbelievable job.
Well, G, we hope we get that win tomorrow night. We talk next Tuesday, man. It'll be very happy chat. We recap that game, man. But it's looking good always, brother. I'll be cheering for you, man. You know how it is with us, man. It's all love, brother.
JR, you're the best, man. Appreciate you.
All right, bud. I'll see you soon, man.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
Yes, BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV, covering content and hot topics from A to Z, sports, music, society and culture, movie reviews, you name it, we have it. Check it out on bs3network.com or check us out on Roku, BS3 TV on Roku, as well as check out your favorite podcast on all podcast platforms or Spreaker.com/BS3 Network.
You are now tuned to BS3 Network.
What's up, good people? Bet Online is your number one source for all your betting needs. The latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use your promo code BELIEVE, B-L-E-A-V, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online where the game starts. What's up, family? Jared the Bossman here. You're tuned into the Bossman Show on AM 1010, AM 1430, 1055 The King. Check The King out at 105theking.com and the Bossman Show at bossmanshow.com. Hit me up on Instagram, The Bossman Show, Twitter at Bossman Show, and Facebook, Bossman Show. It's the Bossman on your radio.
Listen to The Bossman Show with your host, JR, Saturdays at 9 a.m. right here on AM 1010, The King.